What's up, guys? Chris here with Cohesive Friendship Unit. Just me today. Guys, we have a very special video today because we're going to be reviewing a game that hasn't even come out yet. We're going to be reviewing Astralojia for the PC, Episode 1. The developer reached out to me and gave me the Steam code, asked me to review the game, so here we are, reviewing the game. I'm excited, guys. Let's get right into this. Again, I was provided with the code, but I think I'm going to be giving away the code, like another code, if we can hit 900 subscribers. That's right, at 900 subs, I will be giving away a copy of this game on Steam, Episode 1. So, yeah, it'd be awesome if you guys would subscribe. That would super much help us out. Let's get right into it, guys. You are a punk mage in training with an attitude, trying to get into a special magic academy. That is the gist of the story. You roam an overworld, sparring with other kids in kind of pseudo turn-based combat, and this kind of is very reminiscent of Chrono Trigger with a twist, the combat. Actually, this whole game is reminiscent of different old games, kind of in a new style. Let's talk inspiration here. From what I can tell, we're looking at something like Final Fantasy VI. You look at those menus, you look at those character portraits. We're looking at Chrono Trigger. So we're looking at the Square games from the Super Nintendo, guys. You know, the good stuff. You look at the portraits, you look at the menus again, you look at that battle system. It has that action bar that has to go up for you to be able to make your attack. And we're going to talk Resident Evil, maybe, guys. Resident Evil 1 through 3, you know, the ones with the tank controls. There are fixed camera angles in this game, guys. So, like, when you go from one spot to another in the overworld, the camera will bring you to another fixed perspective. That kind of reminded me of Resident Evil a little bit. So I'm getting inspiration from older games, but kind of done with a new twist. It's my understanding that the dev has basically made some of this tech from the ground up, so the visual style is actually pretty unique and pretty cool. And I actually really like this pseudo turn-based combat. It's like Chrono Trigger, where it has that rising meter, but there's actually a little bit of a twist. There's like a button time mini game, and really one of three things can happen. You can essentially fail the mini game, and this goes both ways for attacks that you dish out and attacks that you receive. This can go one of three ways. If you fail the minigame, you will either, basically your attack won't hit, or you'll take the most damage if someone's attacking you. You can pass the minigame, where you'll do some damage, or you'll receive some damage, again, depending on whether you're attacking or receiving the attack. And then there's the, like, perfect timed action, where you will dodge the enemy attack or you will do extra damage. And the thing I like about this, guys, because I'm not actually into turn-based combat all that much. Really, sometimes games get me. Chrono Trigger was one of those. Pokemon will get me, but I'm not like a die-hard turn-based RPG guy. I actually like the fact that we have this button timed minigame, because this satisfies those turn-based folks who like that kind of turn-based or pseudo turn-based combat, but it also satisfies people like me, you know, people who want that more reflexive gameplay with the time button minigame. So that's good. I like it. I like the gameplay, is what I'm getting at. Guys, the music slaps. Simply. It's really good. That's like probably my favorite part of this game. I mean, just listen to this like couple seconds. You can't go wrong with a soundtrack like that. And like, there was literally not a single song that I didn't like. And there was a surprising amount of music, considering how long this game is. Speaking of how long this game is, there are some relatively minor gripes, I'd say, in the grand scheme of things. So here we go, guys. The movement can get a little bit crazy in the overworld, and this is, again, it seems like something that could be fixed easily, especially because it already is fixed basically. There are some parts of the game where you walk slower, so there's that mode already exists. But it would be nice if there was like a run button and a walk button, or if you could just change your like running speed in a menu or something, because sometimes it's getting crazy and you can lose your character. There is a character locate icon if you do lose your character. Not the end of the world. And the game is short, but again, this is episode 1 out of several. This is actually just of a season. This episode is $4.99. The following episodes are going to be $1.99. So, you know, it's short. It took me maybe an hour and a half to do my first playthrough on the medium mode. Actually, it probably took me 2 hours if you consider everything, because I was doing some other stuff. Probably took me 2 hours. But again, $5, that's not a lot of money. One-man dev team, that's also not that bad. Also, I personally like shorter experiences. And the reason I'm calling it out for being short, because I don't have an issue with short games, is I was actually starting to have a really good time. Like everything, like all the moving pieces were really starting to click, and I was really liking it kind of just as it came to a close. The good news is this is highly replayable. Ultimately, there's 4 difficulties for you to run through. So, and I will say the second difficulty that I picked was pretty hard. So my first playthrough was actually pretty challenging. Either way, those are kind of my 2 minor gripes. And the whole time I was playing this game, I was thinking this game would be so good in VR. And I've been emailing the dev back and forth, because actually at one point I looked through the controls tutorial and it showed Vive ones, and I asked the dev, are we getting VR for this? Because it wasn't showing in Steam VR, and he said, yeah, maybe at the end of all the episodes we'll be getting VR. And I was like, oh, this is perfect, because this would actually be great for VR players, because VR players are used to shorter experiences, but it is that kind of Moss-like gameplay where, again, you have that fixed camera perspective and you can kind of look around while things are happening. It just felt like it would fit right at home in VR. Anyways, who is this game for? 1, people who like old games. If you like old games, if you like those Super Nintendo games, you're going to like this game, those Square games. 2, people who want to hop into a shorter experience. I've gone on record personally for saying that I like older experiences. I used to love those Skyrims and Fallouts, and I still do, but I really only have time for like 1 or 2 a year now. A lot of the times I'd rather hop in, do a cohesive 7-hour experience. And while this isn't that, that's also totally fine. I'm down for shorter games. If you're down for shorter games, you'll like this game. I really liked it. I had a great time in my short period with it. People who want local multiplayer. This game does have local multiplayer, and you could sit down with a friend and you can finish this whole experience in about the time of a movie with a friend. And that's pretty cool, guys. You can, instead of watching a movie with your buddy, you get a friend who likes retro games over. You guys sit on the couch. You run through this. Done. Easy. Great time. Up to 4 players. So that's kind of who this is for. But who is this not for? This is not for people who hate turn-based combat. As interesting as the reflexive game button time mini game, it's not gonna like sell you if you truly do not like turn-based combat. And people who need a Skyrim-sized game for their $5. Again, this is a shorter game, and if you are used to paying $5 and getting 100 hours of entertainment, you're not going to get that here. But you are going to get a really genuine game made by one person who did basically everything from the art to the music to the gameplay. And I think that's something that's special. But again, guys, we will be giving away a copy of this, because I was given a copy of it, at 900 subs. All you have to do is be subscribed to this channel. That is all for me, guys. Hope you liked the video. Catch you guys next time.